How's it going, Milani?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
What's up, Fetty? What's up?
What's good? What's popping?
Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come bless me with your presence. Yeah, I have a couple questions. Milani, is this your first movie?
No, mm-mm. I think it's maybe my fourth or fifth.
Fifth movie. So where where was your mind at when you played this role?
So I was just trying to get into that kind of gangster mindset, like we're gonna be having guns and robbing people, and
Oh,
so
okay.
that's where I had to get my mindset.
So your other roles was not like this.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, so you stepped up the character. Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Hey, how's
Hi,
it going? How you
Hi.
doing? How you doing?
I'm grateful. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
I'm Imani.
Hi, Bridget.
Oh, long time.
Long time no see. How are you?
I'm grateful. How are you? I missed you at the
Okay.
screening.
I know. I missed you guys too.
All right, this is for the director. Where was your mindset when you filmed this? When you read the script, where did it take you? Like, where did it take you when you was reading the script? Because this movie is very good, especially with the twists and the turns, and you think you know, but you don't know until you fully know. I feel like I was being turned so many ways. That's why I was definitely like action. For me, it was action filled and even thrilling as I went through the movie from the start to the end. Like, how did you process it all? Because you captured all of it.
First, thank you for the opportunity to have us on your podcast.
No,
And
thank you.
there was a lot going on with this. Just like the film, there was a lot going on making it. I came on as one of the producers only, and then the opportunity presented itself when we switched over from it being a series, episodic, to a feature film. That's when I came on board as a director. Most of my films that I've done previously, I call them, they weren't shoot 'em up, bang bang movies. So it was definitely a switch. But I mean, I'm from Brooklyn, so I've seen stuff happen through growing up and through friends. So it just made it more in my face, I guess. And so I wanted to be able to capture it as authentically as possible.
Yes, yes, it was authentic. I definitely was feeling the vibes out. But for you to not have been in this type of movie, like directing this type of movie, and what been put on the screen, you and Milani, y'all did y'all thing. Cause this is definitely y'all telling me that this was out of y'all realm, and I felt like this is what y'all do.
Mm.
You know? So yes, thank you for the movie. I actually like it a lot. I told a lot of my people, told a lot of people at work to watch it. We have like a big like podcast with other reviewers, and we are all gonna zone in and review this movie. I thought it was that good. So I'm and Ephraim. Come on, Ephraim. Ephraim. Yo, you know, yo, yo, I didn't like you, bro. I just felt like you was a
That's funny.
grumble. Like I was like, oh, here he go again, harassing the girls. She giving you champagne. All you gotta do is say, yo, no, I didn't mean that one. I was talking about this one. You like you and you took the bottle.
Yeah, man.
You captured the role. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that was the way the role was written. Playing the dual characters and everything. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to reveal what's the main character, but yeah, I love playing the role. There's a lot of shady characters in real life, and I know them well, so I wanted to definitely bring that authenticity to the role and just shine a light on it. And every time we get reviews or the fans, everybody look at me and they give me the sideways look, like, yo, I hated your character. I
Yeah.
don't really like you. But that's great because that's the impression that I left them with.
Yeah.
And that means I did my job as an actor.
No, yeah,
So
you definitely did. I would have never knew how you came in the beginning and what you was towards the end. You don't know these things. That's what I'm saying. It was just a constant roller coaster ride throughout the whole movie. Just being exposed to different things. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't really watch these type of movies, but this is not a regular type of movie. The thought that was put into the roles and even the writer,
mhm.
it I don't even know how to explain it. I was definitely satisfied the whole time, and I thank y'all again because I'm not, like I said, I watched a couple other movies, and this is far better than a lot of them. This,
Well, shout out
yeah,
to Angelia
yes,
Jackson. That's the writer. The executive producer, who's also the star, Sean OG Turtle Lindsay. Um, he came up with the concept, and we talked about it, and then we brought it to the writer. Um, and she came up with the script, well, which was actually the series. You know, it was
mm,
broken down as the first
Pilot.
episode. Yeah, pilots. And Bridget, you know, when she came on board, well, before she came on board as the director, you know, as a producer, me and her, we talked about it, and she suggested that it's a lot in the script, well, in the visuals and everything that we edited in the pilot. There's just too much, and it plays better as will play better as a feature.
mm,
So the opportunity came about. She came on board. She made some suggestions, and the script was being written as we were going. You know, it wasn't all made up right then and there, a full script. We would get it in pieces and parts. So we shot it like over a year and a half.
okay,
Oh,
all right,
about a year, a little over a year. You know, the production, the post production took like an extra over 6 months, about 8 months. So in
you,
total, it took like about 2 years between filming and post because a lot of different things came into factor, health reasons, people's schedule,
mm,
how we started off the project as a pilot.
yeah,
Um, you know, so we just made it happen. It took a lot of work as we all can attest to, but Bridget definitely could attest to because she had to be in the dungeon with the editor night and day
mm,
getting it done, just like
that's
she
it.
Shout
about to
out,
get off right
shout
now.
out to Duran Campbell. Shout out
Yes,
to the
yes.
editor.
Okay, yes,
You
yes,
know,
And
definitely.
and it's the DP. And he's the DP.
and
He
he's the
came
DP.
he was hold on, he was the editor as well when Bridget was just a producer. And when she came aboard as the director, he also came aboard as the DP.
Okay, so it
And
was a
and
lot of. Oh,
and
sorry
you
about
know,
that.
going back to not Milani and I saying that this is different from other films that we've done, you know, it doesn't feel that way until post. Because when you are acting and directing and the scenes are going on, you don't feel that energy of the street life and all of that. And it's in post, it's after this when you feel that. So you only see the acting and what needs to be done to get the shots made. So you see it in natural, just regular acting form. It doesn't make it seem like a shoot 'em up bang bang movie until post production. Because I wasn't feeling it that way when we were directing it. It wasn't until post then I was like, oh, it started really feeling like that. So just to go back to when you were saying, you know, the vibe of it being something different. And I always say to people that if you're an actor, you should be able to transform into whatever character that is. And just like for directing, you should be able to direct an actor in any space of realm of whatever that film is. Because it's post-production is where the pizzazz comes in.
No, I get it. I get it. I liked it. I liked it. The chemistry. Milani, tell me how, because it was natural. I actually thought y'all was all from the same neighborhood. So, how did the chemistry come as easy how it looked on camera?
You know, that's a really good question. I'm so grateful that it actually did. You know, I came on set and my co-stars, they were easygoing, they were funny, they were cool. So that chemistry did kind of just come naturally and it made it so much easier.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
And
I
I
think
would go.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no,
go ahead.
Bridget, go ahead.
No, you go
I
ahead.
would say I would say especially with Milani, because it was some very uncomfortable scenes that normally, you would think are uncomfortable. And the director, which is Bridget, she was very welcoming and made her feel
Yes, you did an amazing
protected.
job. Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect word. That's the perfect word. Protected, at ease. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So yeah.
the one thing that I was very adamant about is not making it look like uh so much of a sexual slutty scene,
Hmm.
you know, because people sometimes feel that hood guys will have these women and they just whatever, but I wanted to show that he did care about her, and that came through when they were having sex. You know, it showed passion with it. So it wasn't just, it was more sensual than this sexy scene or pornographic looking thing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
let me just say this, because it was written to be like hood slutted out and everything, and that's what we was going with.
Mm.
And this is where visionaries and the vision of the director was so important. She made a decision, and we ran with her decision. She said, "Nah, we're going to make this sensual," and it
Bridget
worked.
said, "We're not doing that." Nah.
You,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
why?
she
You know
did.
why it worked for me? It worked for me because he was in jail for so long that he was a virgin. So right? Am I wrong?
Well, well,
That was the other
uh,
woman too.
that was
Both.
the other. Yeah, they both were sensual and everything. Her character is more so with the one of the brothers, the twins.
When he tried to trick her, I know her cap.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But hold, I thanks for even coming here. That's how they was getting down at first, right? They did that bathroom thing on purpose, right? Or was the brother just a scumbag? Because I really hated the brother on the low, bro. Like, who would do something like that? He just went to the bathroom, and what make like, and it upset me. A lot of parts upset me, but the characters was played well. Like,
Well, I know Melania probably answer that from her perspective,
yeah,
but what I was to say is, you see, as she walked out and they had their little thing on the couch, like
yes,
we
yes,
almost had it, bro. That's something. You're from the hood, so as a twin, like they out at the end of the day, they not squares, they not goody two shoes or whatever. So
yeah.
that might have been something that sometimes
Fantasy.
those games get played.
I get that. I get that. But when she came, it was not like she was a jump. She wasn't a jump
No,
off. She
no.
looked at like she was his girlfriend, and the the slime ball basically try to be grimy to flesh and blood and mess with his girl because they look alike. That's what it felt like to me. Is it?
I feel that I don't think that was the intention. I
Yeah.
think they might have done that before,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he was just like,
twins.
let me try again.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh, let me try. Because it
Mhm.
didn't look planned. And that's how it should come across to where he's like, oh, we almost had it. And that's why he was like, you just messing stuff up for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But she I'm guessing they really did make a thing after, cause shortly after it was just her and him. So
So, Milani, how you felt about that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he was just trying his luck, you know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely tried it. It was crazy.
He tried it.
Listen, I'm not a twin, but I'm, I sometimes, man, you know, how guys do crazy things, man.
No,
For
of
for a
course.
piece of for a piece of punani, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like,
mm.
and that I guess that temptation, that game that probably been played before, he was just like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like she said, I'm gonna go for it. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, but at the end of the day, even though his brother is mad at him, he's not gonna disown him. It wasn't to that point where he's like,
Yeah.
and it could have been like a test, like guys, we test certain, females, and it's like, oh, that's my brother. After a while, if I'd have came out and you went with it, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I guess
But
it's
That's a
a
it's
whole
lot of
nother
ways to
interesting
thing.
look
though
at
that
it.
it could be interpreted different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
The twins, was they on some type of like, was it supposed to be like they was on like drugs? Like, because you remember when he was going like a little mental, he was tapping
But
his head
well,
on the
one
mint.
one was more than the other.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, well, just speaking on that, because that's something you see in the trailer, so we can speak on that to a certain extent
Hmm.
because of what happened in the beginning, which was a close friend or associate of his, and because the star of the film did what he did, to protect,
The
somebody.
girl, of course.
Yeah, to
Mhm.
protect the girl. That kind of after a while, like
Mm.
you're in the streets. It's kind of resentment, and it's like it's just
Yeah,
you start
no, I
feeling the
get
way.
it.
You start
I
feeling the
definitely get
way. You know what I'm saying? And then besides resentment and feeling the way, if you've never been in a situation like that when death is so close, like how do you handle that? Some people are weak minded or whatever. Obviously, he's the weaker twin,
it.
from what we're seeing. So, you know, he turns to drugs and the drugs start getting the best of him. And we see it all day, everyday life with people who don't know how to handle the pressures of life. And it could be anything that drives in a direction. Then they turn to, you know, weed, and then that weed turns to like a crack pipe, like alcohol, they turn to the bottle. Next thing you know, you just sipping. And next thing you know, you full blown alcoholics, drug addiction, and that's all you care about is getting that next high or
Yeah.
feeling that same feeling,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we said. So yes.
I have a question for the producers and writers, if I could ask.
Yeah, sure.
What was it like casting twins? I always wanted to ask y'all that. Because the casting was spot on. Like they looked like the jokester type, the gangster type. Even when they were in the gloves and the mask, like their hair, like everything was so spot on with the casting. So I was always curious.
I think that this was also a new space for them as well.
Hmm.
I don't
Mm.
they, that this was not
Yeah,
theirs.
because they were models. This is their first acting role.
Nah,
That's right.
So
Because
they
they
nah.
really
probably,
killed
yeah, they
it.
probably did. They probably did. They were models. They're models, full
Mm.
blown, and they probably did a commercial here and there, like stuff like that. But as far as acting and taking on a role, no, this was their first time.
No
They killed
way.
it. They killed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had the choices. We had the choice. It was probably like about two or three other selections of twins. Um, but we like the twins that we casted
Yeah.
because we like they look. It was just something about them,
Exactly.
that
But if I
fell
could
into
say
place.
like what was that?
Good.
They kind of remind me of the what's it called? The laugh now, cry later sign. with the
Yes,
mask.
The
yes, the
mask, yeah.
mask.
Because they have that jokish, appeal to them, but like one is this way and one is that way.
And they were very different. Even though they were twins, there was one seemed more like outgoing for the role and one seemed very kind of reserved. So it didn't take a lot pulling from them to get to where they needed to go because they were listening, But you could definitely tell I had to push one of them more than the other to like, okay, you can add more to it.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And this world is just like Melania is saying, she doesn't do the whole gangster thing, and this is the first time. This is not their world as well.
Yeah,
This is
no,
not
that's
their world as far as you can tell. Um, well, if
no,
you can't tell, we
I
letting you know
actually
this is not their
couldn't.
world.
I couldn't tell until they told me, and then you say it's models, but everybody seemed so natural in the roles that I actually thought this is what they do. Like, you know, the streets, maybe. You know what I mean? They did one. I can't even hold you.
I would say this. The only people that was really in the streets and all that is the executive producers,
Turn
right?
I was about to say, if I had to guess.
And one half of the producer, which is
And
me,
but even
Yeah,
and OG
not the
Champ, which is that's the he played OG in the film. I'm sorry, Bridget. He played OG, and he's also the executive producer as well, just as more.
but even though like there's still a difference between being and of the streets and then coming on to play a role, because you're not
yeah,
playing yourself. So there is a
Hmm.
difference because even if Turtle and Champ were in the streets in their hood, they were very different on camera. It was
Hmm.
almost a very childlike way of getting the acting, okay, taking the direction. So their like spidey senses, their hood senses did not come out in the film. They just were being good at acting and taking
yeah,
the direction because they definitely did not give that in there at all. I didn't feel that at all. Like just use what you know. Just use what you know.
yeah. No, everybody definitely nailed it. This movie is definitely something. I actually watched it twice so far. I bought it, so I did watch it
We
enough.
appreciate that. We
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
you,
you.
and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We appreciate the interview. You know. Um.
Yeah. No problem. I had to. Once I seen it, I actually seen it first, and then I asked y'all. I asked you, can we do an interview? And then
Mhm.
right before we did the interview, I watched it again. It was yeah, it was fun. I got that. It's
It's a.
the turns. It's the turns, and you don't know. And then that's what really got me. It really got me was the turns. I would have never knew. I don't want to say too much. That's why I'm not really expressing myself. But yeah, it was the turns.
So remember, I told you she had to go anyway because she got to start her editing session or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she said it got booted off, but instead of logging back on, she said I'm gonna go to the editing session. But she
Okay.
said thank you. She appreciate the time.
So I appreciate
And getting
her.
a chance to talk to you and everything.
Yeah, we should
And
do
look,
this
and she
again.
looks forward to the review.
Now, yeah, we definitely could do this again. So we could talk about the stuff I want to talk about because there's a lot I'm holding back.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Because there's a lot of people that still haven't. So people
that's
that we
I
need to
know.
talk to. Oh, I guess she logged back in. It's one of those things where it's so juicy and spicy, the twists and turns that
Yeah.
you don't want to give nothing away. You feel like you give one away, it's like no. Like what one of the fellow actors had posted up something yesterday, and I was like, nah, I can't be posted. Even though it's a dope
Hmm.
scene and everything, it's funny. I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't repost that because it gives away who I
yeah.
am. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
I
want
get
people
it.
to be surprised.
I liked how he was so happy for his role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
definitely,
he
definitely.
he came in the tail end of it for a scene that we actually created where we felt like we needed something else. And, he was very happy. I like actors who respect their role and don't think that one part is a small part, because it made a big difference to what we needed to show. So,
Yeah.
but I really just came on to say thank you so much because I should have
Thank
been
you.
in editing at 5:30.
I apologize
So
about
I
that.
I appreciate again. So well, I guess Ephraim will let you know I'm editing a Christmas movie that we had worked on. So we got to get it out for this fall. So
Yes,
every weekend.
Yeah. She
yes,
back in that dungeon.
that's good.
Like,
Follow, chase
yeah.
that,
So
chase that. The hustle is the hustle. You know what I mean? As
yeah,
long as you love it, it's not that bad. So
yeah. No,
hold on. Can we get a sneak like what the name might be for this Christmas movie? And can we get like an exclusive of what the Christmas movie might be called?
I
No.
what I will tell you is that I filmed this movie. Like we worked on it no one knew we filmed it.
Mm, mm,
No one knows about this film.
nice.
So in the fall, once we release it, it'll be like, hmm. So you are actually kind of the first to know.
Yes, 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 yes. I appreciate that. That's good. That's some good stuff. Definitely. Now, thank you for
Milani, it was
joining
so good
too.
to see you.
Thank you for
I know.
everything, Bridget.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so
Thank
much. It's
you.
good to see you too.
You too.
All
Ephraim,
right,
talk
Later,
to
see
you
you
later.
Milanies.
later. So hold on, I got a question from Milani. Would you be willing to do another, street bang bang shoot 'em up movie again?
Hell yeah. I
Yeah.
actually want to be like like an assassin.
In the what?
It's
Say
not
it again.
it's not a street bang bang. Actually, yeah, I want to do another shoot 'em up movie. I want to be an assassin, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
I'll definitely be down to do another one.
nice, nice. Out of all roles you have played, can you give me uh a rundown of the movies? Can you give me a rundown of the movies? You say you've been in a couple, so the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
know where to check you out at.
You can check me out at my IMDb is Milani Jade, MILANIJADE. So I did Bloody Money. I did a lot of shorts. I did a lot of
Okay.
shorts. One of my other shorts is called All That's Left. Another short is called Nothing Like the Sun. Um, my other shorts. Oh, another movie that I did is called Unfailing Love.
Okay.
Unfailing Love. That's like a
Nice.
faith-based movie. It won a bunch of awards here in the DMV for faith-based movies. One of my shorts premiered in Berlin, Germany, at a film festival over there.
Nice. 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 That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I had to transition from being in New York to I had to move back to the DMV. So my acting life got like kind of turned upside down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling with the punches that life is handing out.
How did you like New York?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love New
Good.
York. Yeah.
No,
Glad to
no, no
have
problem.
Milani on. Because she didn't get a chance to come to any of the premieres. We had did like about five premieres.
I
We
was so
had did
mad.
like one in Jersey, two in Brooklyn. We actually had did one in DMV, but it was a little too hectic for her to get to, and we had premiered
Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, I
I wish I
You
remember.
could have.
know,
That
That must
sounds
have
so
been
crazy. I bet it was
crazy.
so much fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
stuck
yeah.
here with no car. I got no wheels. With like, I'm like immobile, so that's like kind of different for me,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But how was
so
Nah.
it?
yeah, we're definitely happy just to get you on, just to speak about it.
Thank
In
you.
an interview or some way, because everybody else got a chance to be at the premieres and say stuff, whether it was in whatever state. So we glad that you got a chance to speak your piece.
Thank you. I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you coming out to show me love, show the podcast love, and yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing future pictures, and I'm gonna check out some of your shorts and the movies that you did,
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And I do want to say congratulations to the production, Fetty and everybody else. Y'all was in New Jersey, DMV, Atlanta. Like, congratulations to y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we was making our rounds, making it happen. We got to, we had to get the word out.
The
Um,
promo was crazy.
and that's a testament to our team.
Mm-hmm.
Just know what we have to do, especially with us putting out previous movies and me being in the business for so long. Knowing that we have to go back to that. Everybody's so caught up in digital because that's the world we live in right now.
Mm.
That you stand out when you do stuff like um little tours here and there, little small screenings, limited editions, when people get a chance to talk to you and you're doing hand-to-hand promo, flyers and everything. That goes back to, my era, traditional. So,
To the basics.
you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let the people love you. You know what I mean? Let them
yeah,
let
yeah,
them feel
and that's
you.
how the word to get out. Like people meet you like, yo, them cats is genuine. Like the guys,
Exactly.
girls, the director, and they asking us questions, about the business, and we're able to give them gems and break stuff down to 'em, how the business really works and functions, what it takes to play a role or to just be in a business, because a lot of people are inspiring and they're hoping and wishing, but
Mm.
sometimes you got to tell them this, you can do that, but at the end of the day, you got to take the leap.
Yeah,
You see what Milani, she down, she from DMV. She like, fuck it, I gotta go up to New York.
I'm going to
You
New
know,
York. Word,
like,
word. So,
and then you have Ariana Jones. She played Nina. She's from uh, she's from
Virginia.
VA.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
from
she from
Virginia.
Virginia. She came all the way up. You know, and then
nice.
you got the lead. You got the lead actress. You know, So, and she's down in Georgia, even though she's from New York.
Oh,
She
she
lives
lived
down
down
in
there.
Georgia and everything.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mention her name, Delisha. She played the role, the lead role. So, sorry.
Oh, Agate, right? Alicia Agate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of moving parts that actually came together to come to New York to make this thing happen. And I'm happy they did because this movie definitely was lit. I was hyped about it. I was definitely hyped about it. And
Let me ask you, did you see Dope Kings or Dope Kings 2?
yes, I actually seen no, not Dope King
No,
2.
you ever said you saw Dope Fiend. Nobody
Dope
has no
Fiend.
Dope King unless they came to the premiere.
Okay,
No,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Dope
I'm gonna
Fiend.
shut up, but that was
Oh, that's another one.
oops, should
Yeah,
I?
we oh
I
yeah,
gotta say, y'all
oh
movies
yeah,
is
yeah,
always fire. They got some
yeah.
fire
Oh, I
movies.
forgot. She came to the premiere of Dope King. So just to let you know, Dope Fiend is from 2017,
Yes.
Okay,
and
okay.
we finally did the production for part two. We
Ooh,
shot it we shot it like 2 years ago, but some red tape with it or whatever. But we trying to get it out sometime by the end of this year or the early next year, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But it picks up where it left off at. You know.
I'm gonna be on the
Okay.
So
lookout for that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Because Dope Fiend was like definitely.
yeah, and that's me and my partner. We the producers of that as well. Well, he's the executive producer of that as well.
Mm.
Sean OG Turtle, Lindsay,
You stay
and
working.
director. Uh, Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or he didn't direct that, executive produce that. Yeah, gotta stay working, man.
I
Like,
see.
I've been in the business so long. It's like you have to get into the behind the scenes and doing your own thing and putting your own stories together and building your team and building your empire,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and giving other actors a chance,
Yes.
and it's not about the money, it's more so about the work, and it's about creating this vision and showing people what we're capable of. And the money will eventually come, but we do it for the love and the passion
Yeah.
and just to show what we're able to do. If I didn't love this, I wouldn't have a career that spans 33 years in the business.
Yeah, because some
You
people might
know?
not know.
Heard that. Veteran.
He's the dude
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
dickies
Veteran.
in Baby Boy. A lot of people might not know. I don't know. Hopefully, my viewers on my page knows, but if they don't know, I'm about to tell them now. They stole Jody's Hennessy.
Alizé, actually.
Alizé, yes, in the park, and I forgot Jody's friend, Cuba Gooding's brother.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
caught
yeah.
them in the park, and you the one that got the beating.
Well, I didn't get the beating at the
With
end. I got the one hitter quitter right before the
yes,
beating.
yes, no, you're right.
And they
You're
say, "Oh,
right.
this Mr. Alizé. Oh, Mr. Alizé."
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's funny because that name still sticks with
What?
me to this day. Since back then, yeah, people call me Mr. Alizé.
yeah, 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 with the blue dicky outfit.
Yeah, yeah. Word, man. That
What?
was fun too, man. God rest his soul, John Singleton.
Yes.
Oh.
It's so crazy because I was out in New York, right? And I went to a casting. My manager at the time, Martha Machard, she sent me to a casting with Kim. She's the person that casted, and I couldn't make the casting in New York. I was in. I ended up flying like a week prior to LA, but I had auditioned and sent in a tape, and that's why they was like, "Oh, we're gonna be in New York. Let's catch him, invite him in," and he auditioned in person. Um, but I was in LA at the time, and when they found out, they was like, "All right, give us a week." They called me into the office down in Inglewood, California, um, like a week later, and when I walked in, John Singleton was sitting right there. I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, what's up, brother?" Yeah, it was surprise.
Wow.
It was just Kim,
Wow.
the casting director, and John Singleton, and it was me, right? And we having a conversation and everything, and it's like, "Yo, bro, you did your thing." Because the thing is, I had auditioned for Jody. I
Mm.
didn't
Did
audition
you?
for the little dudes. I auditioned for a Jody role, and I killed it. He was so impressed with it. He was like, "Yo, listen, we can't. We wanted you. We sent you to audition for Jody and everything, but that role is already taken. And it
Mm.
ended up being Tyrese. The role is already taken. It was all spoken for." But he was like, "Yo, we love you so much. You don't got to audition again. We got a role for you. Are you okay with the smaller role or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah."
Hey,
And they straight up gave me the role of one of the little dudes or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's why I tell, people, like, just give your all. You
Mm.
never know. You know. So what? I didn't get that role. That role wasn't meant for me, but the role I got, even if it's a one liner or no lines, you know, you make the best of that. You make the gestures and the facial expressions that make
Mm.
you stand out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
say
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
words, you say those words a certain way that stick out, and you never know. And that what I did, it was so crazy because what sticks out the most, it's not even the fact that they punched me. You know what they you know what people clown on me today about?
That
It's
face.
two
Mm.
things. because people know that in my hood, they get on me like, yo, E, why you let him punch you like that? You know, because they know how to retaliate it. You know, I ain't gonna just stand there and let you punch me in my face or whatever. But
Mhm.
that's just them, you know, joking around and everything. And you'll also have conversations of, did they really hit you? He really punched you? I'm like, nah, with acting, it's it's certain angles
Mm.
where it's not even close to the face, but if the camera is at this angle and you know the punch comes across your face and you go with it, it looks like you know you got punched for real.
Yeah, it looked
But
real.
it wasn't. I improvised when I fell to the floor. Instead of just being knocked out, I was like moaning and groaning and or whatever.
Mm.
Like after I got punched in the face, I was "Ah." And that little things, those little things, it stuck with the character and it stuck with people. They was like, yeah, he was on the floor. Like, "Ah." Yo, so you know, you never know. You know, you just gotta make the best of it, give your all. Because you know, you never know when your break is around the corner.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you treat everybody the same, you
Heard
know,
that. Yeah.
even if it's the extras or the small guy that's going to get the coffee or whatever. Treat
Mm-hmm.
everybody the same because you never know, you know.
Word. But for me, what stuck out was the face when you knew you was about to get hit. That
Oh
face was
yeah, oh
priceless. Like
that
that
too,
made me feel like,
that too. Yeah, yeah, that as well.
you
I
played
forget that.
that great. It just made me feel like, he's gonna have to brace himself because he's about to get hit, bro. So yeah, it was the face. It definitely was the face for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you're right about that. You know, you just gotta do stuff that stands out. You know, just do the opposite stuff people that don't expect you to do,
Mhm.
and just be genuine with it. You know, not overacting or whatever, but you know, just something that's like memorable.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
it definitely was.
That's a gem. That's a gem.
Yes, no,
Like for
definitely.
example, right? For example, my first ever audition, I did it in 90, did it in 95. There's a public service announcement. I think that's when either a year later or that year, San Antonio Spurs won a championship. That's how I remember. This was before Tim Duncan. I'm old. Before Tim Duncan, and it was just David Robinson. Yeah. So it was an anti-bully PSA, right? So I went in with three guys. So I went on camera with three guys, and all the casting director told everybody to play bullies. So everybody doing a bully role. I beat your ass and all that, right? So the two guys on the side of me, I looked at them, and then I started acting like the punk. I'm like, why all three was playing the same role? I'm acting like the punk. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to. Why you mess with me? Blah, blah, blah. I started acting like that, and that's what got me the lead role of that PSA.
Did I say?
Mm.
And
Being
that was
different.
my first and that was my first role, and that's what got me my hood credibility and all that stuff, and what put me out there is playing it during the NBA championships and everything. So
Mm.
that was my first claim to fame right there.
Nice,
So it's about
nice.
just being different.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. That was definitely an insight right there. Yeah,
Mhm.
be different. Definitely be different. Here to be different.
And that's what I just um speaking more, and that's what separates Bloody Money from everything else,
Yeah.
because it is different. You know, as soon as you expect something to go this way, it doesn't go the way you thought it would.
Mhm.
And when you think you solved something, you didn't really solve nothing. And that's the way it was intentionally written, where it's like you're on the edge of your seats. Like we literally have people go to the bathroom and they're lost when they
Yeah,
come back.
you
They
had to
blink
be.
their eyes like, I don't know what's happening. Because it's constant. It's constant. Like you gotta sit through the whole thing, and it doesn't feel like you like it goes by quick and it's enjoyable. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it goes through, it takes you through every emotion. It's something for everybody in that film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it definitely was so much twists and turns, and the betrayal, and then the betrayal didn't even stop there because it was another piece that was added to it. It was 3D. This movie was 3D to me. It just had so
Mhm.
many layers, and that's not what you get from a typical hood movie. It's just straightforward. The front of a house, inside the living room, and then to the backyard. No, we went into each bedroom. We went into the bathroom. We went into the basement. It was different levels that y'all made this a whole complete house, and it wasn't just a straight run through. And that's like I said, we gonna have to do this again because it was crazy. You would never know. You would never know what you was from the beginning to the end. It was crazy, but it all made sense. And you left us on a cliffhanger. Y'all left us on a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, that was intentionally right there.
Oh.
That was definitely intentional.
What do that mean, though? What that means? What
You,
a
you,
part
you,
two?
oh yeah, that's definitely a part two. That's definitely a part two. But the thing is, you don't know who survived.
That's it. That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. It have to. We just have to.
and we intentionally the ending was like that, but the way the ending came about, the whole dramatic essence of it with the turning and that, um, the director Bridget, she she came up with those certain shots to the story that makes it even more dramatic and everything. So we intentionally did that. We wanted to leave the viewers mad at the end of the day. After all those twists and turns,
Yeah.
we wanted to leave them mad because it's like, no, nah, no, we gotta know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a good book, a good hood book. But it was only 5 shots, and it was 6 or 4 shots, and it was 6 of y'all. So that's what made me feel. I hope I'm not giving nothing away, but it made me feel like at least 2. You feel me?
Yeah. Nah, you're not giving nothing away like that because nobody knows nothing. We
Nobody
gonna say
knows.
we can say it was a bang out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But see, by giving that away, they still won't know nothing.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
I counted the
It's a matter
shots.
of who survived. So
Exactly.
if anybody survived.
Yeah. You're right about that. That's a
Yeah,
fact. This was a good one.
yeah.
All right. So
That's what's
thank
up, man.
y'all for taking y'all time out for me, for Only Movies, the podcast. I hope to come check y'all again because I want to get into the details. I want to say more. But
Yeah.
let's leave it a mystery right now. But I'm definitely going to try to reach out and see how we could do this maybe later on in the months when you're not, you know, so tight on some of the details so I can express because right now I feel like I don't get anxiety really. But this gave me this podcast right now gave me anxiety because I couldn't get out what I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
But
And,
now
and we
hold
sorry
on.
to do that to you, but we also appreciate that you're on call with us because it's one of those things where it's like if you give away if we were to give away one thing or two things, it's like the whole thing unravels and people respect it and everything. So that's why I said like even something yesterday, as enthusiastic as the actor was, and we appreciate his hard work and everything and his promos that he's been putting out. It's like if me personally as a producer and one of the lead roles, if I would have reposted that, it's like for those that didn't get a chance to watch it or whatever, they will already know I was that other character. And it's like, nah, and that's a big twist.
That is a
Yeah.
big twist.
And maybe when because it's in the video on demand and paying. Like when it hits Tubi, then that's different.
Yeah.
you know, and it's getting TV like in
Hey.
a couple of months or whatever. But right now it's in the pay-per-view and all that stage,
It's in
you know, and
Fandango.
rentals.
It's in
Yeah,
Amazon. It's in the
yeah.
places. It's starting. It's
Yeah,
getting.
it's
It's
in the
getting its
places.
shine. Yeah.
So let me give a shout out to everybody, cast crew. Um, Let me give a shout out to Julito. Um, and definitely let me give a shout out to the music. You know, the past few interviews, I haven't mentioned the people with that, you know, the scores and the music and everything. The music is
The mo-
phenomenal on that,
no,
man.
they're fire. Yo,
The fire,
fire.
right?
Like it
Yo,
could come out right now and it's gonna be a hit. Like the music is good. It's not no thrown together music for a movie. These are hits, bro.
yeah.
Definitely. I'm glad you brought that up because them songs, yo, them songs was I'm Shazamming them as the movie played. Shazam, see if I could find it and all that.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so yes, it definitely was. It was a lot of good stuff about this. So I know when I do my review, I won't let out a lot of the secrets. I won't let out a lot of the things that basically makes people know before watching it. Or
Yeah.
you want me to just hold off on it until Tubi? Not this one, not this podcast. I'm talking about the review of the movie.
Um, nah, you could do the review without
Very vague
you know
type
what?
shit.
Yeah, you know what? Um, let's wait. Let's for that full-fledged, full-blown
Yeah.
review how you want to do it. Let's wait till two be hit for that.
All right.
You know, this will hold them over, you know, and everything because we come
Yeah.
back around. See, that's the beauty in how we put it out. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
most people put stuff straight to Tubi. Like we doing it more traditional way. Like, you know, we did the run with the theaters where you can see it in person. And now we doing the video on demand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in different places. And then which is VOD. And then it's gonna go to SVOD and AVOD, which is Tubi in certain places. So we just
Okay.
doing a rollout, you know, like as that died down, then
Yeah.
it's the next
The right
phase.
steps.
I
Exactly.
see.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, because some stuff it comes and then it goes and then you forget about it. No, but this is in
Yeah.
layers. It's every couple of months. It's like, oh, when it hits Tubi, that's a whole different audience. Like
Yes.
everybody, instead of having it at one time, Fandango got its audience. Now Amazon is getting its audience.
Mm-hmm.
When Tubi hits, Tubi will get its audience. You know,
Yeah.
we doing it step by step.
It's
So
levels
that's
to
the
it.
thing with this.
Smart. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
and
like it.
also, yeah, so also you can find a handle at double underscore bloody double underscore money. Um, and then you can find all our IGs from that, or you could go to bloody money film FILM.com, and that'll show you where you can also find where to watch it at. And like I said, let's give a shout out to everybody, cast and crew,
Yes. Yes.
supporters, everybody that purchased, everybody that spread the word. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that's just leaving reviews and just we just thank everybody because it was a hard it was a hard 2 years of just love and passion that
That's crazy.
got us through it.
Because
Got
you
us
would
through
never
it.
know that. It seemed like this movie was put together. Obviously, it was put together greatly, but it just seemed like it just went. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
the obstacle courses that y'all might have came across,
yeah,
but it don't. You can't
yeah.
see that on screen. You
Yeah,
don't see that on screen.
usually, we put together a film like 7, 15 days, depending, and then
Mm,
go right into post. But like I said, we had a lot of different obstacles, and way this was put together was initially as a pilot. It wasn't thought of as a film. So, we had to restructure everything, and stuff just took a while,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's a testament to having a great team and everybody coming together to make it happen
yeah.
and having dope actors and dope crew. And just also one last shout out because I know we all gotta go. Shout out to I have a project coming on Tubi that's
Ooh.
directed, created, and written by Joseph C. Grant. You know, it's called Bottom Bitch, and it also stars Ariana Jones, which played Nina in Bloody Money. You know, so that's coming out. It takes place in 1968.
Oh,
It's supposed to come out earlier this month, but some red tape or whatever happened. So when it happens, probably like next month or sometime, it might drop. Not really too sure, but you're definitely on Tubi. Bottom Bitch, you know.
nice.
Let's
Nice.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait for that. Definitely gonna be in the building. Before we leave, Milani, give us some of your, your social medias and shouts out. Let's get that going.
First of all, thank you for, having me, and thank you. Shout out to the crew. Thank you, Ephraim and Turtle and Bridget, for just, having me a part of this project. I really appreciate it. And this is like like one of those experiences that's up there,
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to my cast members and everybody that was working on the project. It was definitely a team effort. We all came together to make something really great. My socials, you can find me on Instagram at Milani J Jade __ MILANIJJADE __. I had to get a new page and everything. But yeah, thank you both for having me. And I'm really grateful to be here.
BridgetTurner.com is my website, and official Bridget Turner on Instagram. And then you can find everything else from there.
Okay. The information will be at the bottom as well. So yeah, thanks. And I appreciate you for joining us, joining me,
You're
All right.
welcome. You're welcome.
All
Take
right,
care.
bye.
God bless.
Now,
Thank you, and
I'm
shout out
happy
to
to have you.
Christian. Shout out to Christian. That was young legend. You know, he did his thing. That was his first time playing that type of role as well.
Hold on,
A
Chris.
young boy.
That's the
Christian.
one that had
He
to heat
played.
him up over the dice game.
Yeah. That's legend. Yeah, legend.
Yeah. Legend, exactly. He said, yeah, I like that. He was like, Legend don't know what's going on. Come in the side.
Yeah.
Come in the house.
Yeah, that was the beauty. That was the beauty in the character of Titan. You know, just showing both sides. Like you can tell, just coming home from jail or whatever, but he got somebody that he has to take care of, and don't want them to follow in that life.
Yeah.
And he'll do by any means to get out of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they was on their way out, so they was about to leave. You know what I mean? So a couple of things happened. Yeah, the movie's great. Now, me just thinking about it, it's just so much things that you could actually feel like, this is good and this is good and oh yeah. So yeah, it was good, man. It was a good movie. It needed everybody that was inside the movie for it to be as good, because everybody played their role, everybody played their part to make it what it was.
Right.
So yes, I'm happy to be interviewing y'all, and thank y'all for joining me, basically.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.